Alright, hey guys, it's Jenna. There's no Lizzie today, but that's probably expected. She wasn't in the last video, and technically this is a part 2 to that. I am doing the Outsider summary now. Instead of doing chapter 5 through 8, this is more going to be like 5 through 10. And then the last 3 chapters is related tonight or tomorrow. I'm sorry, I did not want to bring this out till tomorrow. But it took me so long to get, like, my summary done that I'm writing in Google Docs, like, 4 hours, and I was only writing, like, 1 second. I only wrote, like, a little bit of this, and then that. Which could be a lot, kind of, because I also had to, like, read the book again for a third time. But let's just jump in. Sorry, I had hair in my mouth. Okay, so we left off right before the letter. Dally's at the church right now, and Soda Pop wrote a letter to Ponyboy. 1 second. Okay, so I'm reading you on my Chromebook right now. And actually, let me just look at this. It's amazing. That cape. Yesterday, I'm just, like, trying to fit in, like, if I was actually in the book, and then I'm just, like, opposite. Nope, it's never been a style. Probably never will be unless the future's crazy like me. But let's just get into it. So here's the letter from Ponyboy from Soda to Ponyboy. Alright. Dear Ponyboy, well, I guess you got into some trouble, huh? Derry and I nearly went nuts when you ran out like that. Derry's awful sorry he hit you. He didn't mean it. And then you and Johnny turned up missing, and with that dead kid in the park, and Dally getting hauled into the station, well, it scared us something awful. The police came by to question. I spelled question wrong. He spells enough stuff wrong in this letter. I don't need to add to that. Came by to question us, and we told them as much as we could. I can't believe little old Johnny could kill somebody. I know Dally knows where you are. You know him. He keeps his trap shut and tells me nothing. Derry hasn't got the slightest notion where you're at, and it's nearly killing him. I wish you'd come back and turn yourselves in, but I guess you can't since Johnny might get hurt. You sure are famous. You got a paragraph in the paper. even. You got a paragraph in the paper, even. Oh my gosh, I always mess up on that last sentence. Take care and say hi to Johnny for us. What? Taking care, saying hi? No. Soda Pop Curtis. Alright, so that was the letter. So basically, after that, they're just like, you know what? I'm really hungry. Let's go to Dairy Queen. So nothing really happened in, like, the next few pages. So then we're at Dairy Queen. So then they went to Dairy Queen, where they got a lot of food, actually. They did. Because Ponyboy had gotten sick, as I mentioned before, on the 5th day because he wasn't eating a lot and smoking too much. They literally got, like, 5 sandwiches, I think it said. He got a Pepsi. Yep, that's what it said. He said in the book that he was a Pepsi addict. I don't know if it mentioned that in the movie, but I also haven't finished watching the movie, and I've only watched, like, half of it in different scenes in different times. So, like, I haven't watched it all the way through, and it wasn't even, like, scenes in order. It was just, like, a person scene pack, which I like, but it's not the whole movie. Because, like, I can't find some people's scene pack, because either it doesn't exist, and they don't show all of them, obviously. Alright, back on topic, they also got banana splits, for some reason. Dally told them that the Graciers and the Socs were having a full-out war. He started carrying a heater, what they call a gun. No, don't power off. No. You're fine. You're like 90%. Okay. Okay, so he started carrying a heater, which is called a gun. Started carrying a gun, which they call a heater. There we go. And they also mentioned that they have a spy, Cherry Valance. She was mentioned back in chapter 2, and it was also the girlfriend of Rob, the one they killed. Remember that? So then Johnny wanted to go back and turn themselves in, and I have little things on here that I wrote that was just like, read. So it should be the first ones that I kept bookmarked. Look at all these bookmarks because I didn't finish writing it all down. Alright. Johnny had been quietly finishing his 5th barbecue sandwich, but now... God. Okay, so I gotta turn my volume down. Oh my god. It's not gonna change then. Because I'm gonna be able to hear a stupid song in the background. Then this video is gonna get copyrighted. Okay, whatever. Johnny was quietly finishing his 5th barbecue sandwich, but now he announced, "We're going back and turn ourselves in." It was Dally's turn to gag. Then he swore a while. Then he turned to Johnny and demanded, "What?" "I said we're going back and turning ourselves in," Johnny repeated in a quiet voice. I definitely got louder at that one. I was surprised but not shocked. I'd thought about turning ourselves in lots of time, but apparently the whole idea was a jolt to Dallas. "I got a good chance of being let off easy," Johnny said desperately. I didn't know if it was Dally trying to convince himself. "I ain't got any record with the fuzz. It was self-defense. Pony and Cherry can testify to that. And I don't aim to stay in that church all my life." That was quite a speech for Johnny. His big black eyes grew bigger than ever at the thought of going to the police station. For Johnny had a deathly fear of cops. But he went on, We won't tell that you helped us, Dally. We'll give you back that gun and what's left of the money. And we'll say we hitchhiked back so you won't get in trouble, okay?" Dally was chewing on the corner of his ID card, which gave his age as 21 so he could buy liquor. "You sure you want to go back? Us greasers get it worse than anyone else." Johnny nodded. "I'm sure. It ain't fair for Ponyboy to have to stay up in that church with Derry and Soda worrying about him all the time." "I don't guess." He swallowed, tried not to look eager. "I guess my parents aren't worried about me or nothing." "The boys are worried," Dally said in a matter-of-fact voice. I hate having to read, like, the direction. Like, you know how they're just, like, Dally said, or in a matter-of-fact voice. I hate reading that, because I can just say that. In my head, I'd never read them. Ever. My brain can skip over them so easily. Two-Bit was gonna go to Texas to hunt for you. Or Texas... No. What? Oh my god. Brain, focus. Stop thinking about the song, okay? Two-Bit was going to Texas to hunt for you. My parents, Johnny repeated doggedly. "Did they ask about me?" "No," Dally snapped. "They didn't." Blasted Johnny. What did they matter? Shoot, my old man don't give a hang whether I'm in jail, dead in a car wreck, or drunk in the gutter. That don't bother me none. Johnny didn't say anything, but he stared at the dashboard with such hurt bewilderment that I could have bawled. Okay, so then they decided to leave. I felt sorry for Dally. He meant it, what he said. He didn't care about his parents, but he and the rest of the rest of the gang knew Johnny cared and did everything they could to make it up to him. I don't know what it was about Johnny. Maybe that lost puppy look or those big scared eyes were what made everyone his big brother. But they couldn't, no matter how hard they tried, take his place of his parents. I thought for a minute, Derry and Soda Pop were my brothers, and I loved them. And I loved them both. Even if Derry did scare me, not even Soda could take Mom and Dad's place. And they were my real brothers, not just sort of adopted ones. No wonder Johnny was hurt because his parents didn't want him. Dally could take it. Dally was the kind of breed that could take anything because he was hard and tough. And when he wasn't, he could turn hard and tough. Johnny was a good fighter and could play cool, but he was sensitive, and that isn't a good way to be when you're a greaser. And then, okay, so I want to read that in the book. Okay, so we skipped this part because it's not really that important. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I really am trying to get everything that is needed in the book to say, but also try to skip out on some things, but some things are kind of, I like reading them from the book because the book words it perfectly as it was supposed to say. Alright. Johnny, Dally said in a pleading high voice, using a tone I've never heard from him before. Johnny, I ain't mad at you. I just don't want you to get hurt. You don't know what a few months in jail can do to you. Blast it, Johnny. He pushed his white blonde hair back of his eyes. You get hardened and you get mean in jail. That's what he said in the movie, and I just can't imagine it any other way said. I'm sorry. Get mean in jail. I don't want to see that happen to you like it happened to me. Alright, so then we can skip. So then, oh no, the church got on fire. Okay, so that was the next one. Alright, so I read, or what I wrote. The church is on fire. Okay, but there were children trapped in the church, and they were like, oh no, let's go save them. So Ponyboy jumped out of the car while Dally was screaming at him to come back. And then Johnny was running close behind, and Dally chased after them because he wanted to save them, but they saved all the kids and woke up in an ambulance. And then so there was this dude there named Jerry. He wasn't really important. And kind of boring, actually. I didn't like him that much. He was just kind of boring. And Ponyboy told him the entire story, basically. He said he left out some parts, but I don't remember which. So while they were in the church, Ponyboy did mention that while they were in it, Johnny had looked like he was having like the time of his life, and he was like super happy, and he looked like he was having a good time because he was like being the hero and stuff. So what else? One second. Also, I would like to mention at this point, there's a scene in a movie where Dally's pretty mean to some kids, and he says he doesn't like kids. But okay, so Ponyboy and Johnny are the youngest in the gang, okay? And who does Dally hang out with most of the time? Ponyboy and Johnny. He wants to take care of them, and he secretly does like kids. He's lying to himself. He's lying to everyone. He just wants to sound tough. Okay, so moving on from that. Also, the gun went off in the church. And Ponyboy laughed when he heard it for some reason. I don't get why. I couldn't understand why. I really couldn't. Oh my gosh. My camera's like kind of broken, so like you can see like the line right here about. Sorry, my finger looks like huge. Why am I mentioning? Okay, So now they're at the hospital because jumping into a burning building is a bad idea and you can get hurt. Oh, who knew? Who knew? By the way, they saved all the kids. But it's about to get sad. By the way, we're getting to the part where I may or may not have closed my book in anger because I thought something was gonna happen. Okay, so he got checked into the hospital, or Ponyboy got checked in the hospital. He only had a few burns and a big bruise across his back. So he waited in the waiting room for Johnny and Dally. They were rolled out on stretchers. Johnny was unconscious, but Dally wasn't. And Dally said this in the movie specifically. I memorized this line too because there are some lines that some characters say that I think are just hilarious. He said, "If you ever pull a stunt like that again, I'll kill you." Yep, that's it. I can remember this line specifically. Why that line out of everyone? I don't know. Then after that a bit, Jerry said there was some he actually went on the phone and then he came back and was like, "There are some people here to see you. They claim to be your brothers or something." Oh my gosh, I forgot. Sometimes I forget to put spaces. Oh man. Okay, so I have this part marked off too. Oh, that's where that one came from. Okay. So I had a bookmark because I've been bookmarking this stuff. Okay. This part I'm also going to read. Wait, why am I bookmarking it when I don't need to bookmark it because I'm literally reading it right now. Okay, continuing on. Oh, by the way, Jerry gave Ponyboy like a little thing about him not supposed to be smoking, which he really shouldn't have in the hospital when he was in that state. But I mean, like what? Out of everything, that's what you're gonna hype him on? Yeah, not going into. No, he liked that he went into the burning building because he saved his own children. I don't know, why did I laugh from that? I don't know, but whatever. We're just gonna continue on. I leaped up and ran for the door. It was already open, and Soda had me in a bear hug and was swinging around. I was so glad to see him. I could have bawled. Finally, he set me down and looked at me. He pushed my hair back. "Oh, Ponyboy, your hair. Your tough, tough hair." By the way, there are two ways that they spell it. In the book, it's Tuff, which was, like, it was, like, tough, but also, like, it meant, like, kind of, like, cool to them, and then there was, like, the regular tough, and you should know the definition of regular tough. Okay, so that they used their way this time, by the way. Then I saw Derry. He was leaning in the doorway wearing his olive jeans and a black t-shirt. Then he was still tall, broad-shouldered Derry. His fists were jammed in his pockets and his eyes were pleading. I simply looked at him. He swallowed in a husky voice. "Pony." I let go of Soda and stood there for a minute. It was more like a second, but that was in the movie. Which actually, here's a quick fact about the movie. Essie Hinton was the nurse. No, forget I said that. But she was on set during the filming. I stood there for a minute. Derry didn't like me. He had driven me away that night. He had hit me. Derry hollered at me all the time. He didn't give a hang about me. Suddenly I realized, horrified. Derry was crying. He didn't make a sound, but tears were running down his cheeks. I hadn't seen him cry in years, not even when Mom and Dad had been killed. I remembered the funeral. I had sobbed in spite of myself, so it had broken down and bawled like a baby. But Derry only stood there with his fists in his pockets and that look on his face, that same helpless, pleading look that he was wearing right now. In that second, what Soda and Dally and Two-Bit had been trying to tell me finally came through. Derry did care about me. Maybe he cared about me as much as he cared about Soda. because he cared. He was trying too hard to make something of me. When he yelled, "Pony, where have you been all this time?" He meant, "Pony, you scared me to death. Please be careful, because I couldn't stand if anything happened to you." Derry looked down and turned away silently. Suddenly, I broke out of my daze. "Derry!" I screamed. The next thing I knew, I had him around the waist, squeezing the daylights out of him. "Derry," I said, "I'm sorry." He was stroking my hair, and I could hear the sobs racking up as he fought to keep back the tears. "Oh, Pony, I thought we lost you like we had Mom and Dad." Then it was silent fear of losing another person he loved. I remembered how close he and Dad had been, and wondered how I could ever thought him hard and unfeeling. I listened, his heart pounding through his t-shirt, and I knew everything was going to be okay now. I'd taken the long way around, but I was finally home to stay. Next chapter, we on to chapter 7. Sorry, those 2 chapters are like the most important ones to me for some reason. My brain is just like, these are the ones you need to actually read for some reason. Like, my brain mostly has to read. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this part. Oh wait, no, that happened in a second. Stop it. I don't care if they're live. I'm making a YouTube video. I read that. So they really wanted to see Johnny and Dally. So Derry finally got through to the doctors that, too bad, they don't got any family. We're the only family they got. So they eventually let him in. Or finally got through to him that they were the closest family they got, and they need to see him. Johnny was in critical condition. His back was broken when the timber fell on him. By the way, a piece of timber fell on him. I forgot to mention that earlier. We're just like, oh, by the way, that happened. He fell into severe shock and 3rd-degree burns. Dally had one badly burned arm, and that would be scarred for the rest of his life, but he'd have full use in a couple of days. He was gonna be okay. Alright, so then they went home because they were exhausted. Remember how Ponyboy was sick? He was still sick, but now burned a little. And also, how would you feel if your brother ran away and you were really close and he ran away for a week and there was a dead kid in the park that they were missing and everything bad could happen? If I was in there, I wouldn't be able to sleep for a week. They wouldn't either, by the way. Okay, so Ponyboy was the first one up in the morning, and the rule was the first one had to make breakfast. So he made eggs, and I just wanted to mention they really like chocolate cake. Can't relate though. I actually did write that exactly in the summary, because they talked a little bit about how they really like chocolate. Oh, did I forget to? Oh, by the way, Pony fell asleep in the car. I was gonna mention that, but can you stop? TikTok keeps sending me notifications. I don't care. So he'd been too tired and he couldn't even walk in the house. Like, he was like kind of awake when Derry carried him in, and Derry could carry him because he actually gotten a lot lighter because he is only eating like bologna sandwiches, which, ew, I'd rather a ham sandwich any day. That's just me. He ended up not even liking them, and it came more clear in later parts in the book, I promise. So, okay. So, by the way, the reason I said I couldn't relate to them liking chocolate cake is because I'm allergic to chocolate, so there's a little why I said that. Yeah. So then Two-Bit and Steve came over and showed him the news headline in the paper. It said, "Juvenile delinquents turn heroes." He read that they were going to have to go to court. Why am I skipping spaces here? To see Pony and Soda. Okay. Oh my god. Can keep living with Derry and not be sent to... God, did I have to mention... Oh my gosh. Seriously? Okay, that's better. And not get sent to a boys' home. Then he mentioned how he used to get really bad nightmares after his mom and dad died. And he had one the night before. They were talking about how they were gonna... Oh, wait. Okay, so... Back to the juvenile... The headline and the thing. 1 second. Okay, so that's the next scene that I've mentioned. Okay. Alright. So, oh my gosh, does it have to be that loud? Try and focus here. Oh my god. I cannot focus sometimes. Okay, finally did something that I needed to remember. That helps me focus sometimes. Sometimes, because, by the way, I can't mention this right now. Okay, so then, alright, I have 10 minutes left. In the last 5 minutes, this video is gonna get a little off topic, so just, if you don't want to hear about any of that, just leave after the last 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I can't get this stupid thing because my camera's cracked. Oh my god, can you stop with the glare here? Okay, good enough, you know. So, oh my gosh, I don't know exactly where I was, but he'd been carried into the house, and Soda took off his shoes and shirt so he could go to sleep, but then Soda was too tired and didn't even take off his own shoes. I'm sorry. I just can't with the angles right now. I'm sorry. There's just... So... Gosh, I can't focus. Okay, so then when Tuba and Steve came over, came up and was like, here, wow, look, you got a front page in the paper. That's so cool. Okay, so, yeah, and then the boys' home, I already mentioned that, and then, he used to have really, really bad nightmares, he said in the book, after his mom and dad died. Derry even had to take him to a doctor for this, and was like, what's going on? He's screaming bloody murder whenever he wakes up. And all the doctor said was overactive imagination, which I think he probably had night terrors. Isn't that what night terrors are? Sticker. Sorry, I got distracted again. Okay. Do you have to say the F word in the middle of me filming? Okay. God. I'm so sorry that I always grab it by the camera. Okay, good enough. Good enough. It's fine. So then Steve and Soda were planning on throwing a party for after the Rumble. And then Pony asked if Soda was going to bring Sandy, which was his girlfriend. But he said that she went to go live with her grandma in Florida, which my teacher mentioned this. Back in the day, that meant that she was pregnant. So, Sandy had been cheating on Soda. I looked it up on Google, and it said that in the show, it gave a specific person, Martin Brewer, which was not mentioned in the book or in the movie, for sure. So, I would say that's invalid. Don't take that as 100% truth because the show was trash. I haven't watched past like the first 4 minutes, but it didn't have the same actors. He made such a big deal about his hair, and then his hair looks like trash in the show, which be careful with Pony's hair, because like he made such a big deal about it. It also is so much worse quality, and it was made in 1990. And I've seen the quality of shows back then, and it's not that bad. Okay. So, whatever, they can't be completely sure. So then, Derry says he might stay home with Pony for the day, but they were like, we cannot afford this right now. You have to go to work. So Two-Bit's like, hey, yo, I'll stay with the kid, even though Pony had been stayed alone before, but since he was kind of sick and in that bad of condition, can we just do like that? Yeah, don't be concerned. So then he was just like, okay, come here. So this is like the last part of the video, so I just gonna sit over here. So then Two-Bit was like, yo, I'll stay with the kid. It's fine. I don't care. So yeah. I'm gonna pause this right here. And then we'll start. Okay, so then I don't want to read it. Yeah, I'm just gonna mention some things real quick. So if you're just here for a summary, click off right now. I just gotta talk for a minute. Oh my god. Alright. Okay, so by the way, I have ADHD. Yeah. Me thinking, reason for this? Don't have a reason, I just have it. So yeah, and sometimes things get stuck in my head a lot. Which is, so I couldn't think about anything but putting these pencils and making sure I brought them to school. Because I can have one pencil, and I'm used to having like 20. Because like, I like to have a lot of pencils at a time, because then I don't lose them. Oh my god. Sorry. Can I stop grabbing the camera? Thank you. So yeah, I couldn't like think of anything else besides that, and so I got really distracted, and I got super distracted when the music got turned on, and I couldn't focus during the video, because I just sometimes can't focus the way I want to focus. Okay. That's what I wanted to say. That's basically it. Okay, so if you did stay, can I keep doing? Alright. We're just gonna continue because I had to say that apparently.